little, just a minute, just a minute, just a minute. Hello, hi. So we start with just a minute, and it's all about a minute, when bombs are landing and whatnot is happening. I think that now we are moving towards the full occupation of Gaza. I don't know if we are now talking about conquest or occupation and how legitimate are the two words, and we can go on discussing that. But I think we will just focus on poetry. And I'm going to also ask Dawn, and I want to go this into my recording that I've just discovered a cyber theft, this morning almost. So I'm a little devastated, but I will ask Dawn to, also maybe, before we start the reading, Dawn, if you just want to sort of do a little bit of an introduction, because the other time you were discussing that, Netanyahu actually started this Hamas thing. So before we do the poetry, I just want to say two things, two things. Whether or not he started, how bad is the political gimmick here, but what's happening? I mean, is it going to be they want them to just leave Palestine?
You're breaking up, Pankhuri. We can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can't hear the whole sentence.
You can't see me or you can't hear me?
You were talking like this.
So. Yeah, maybe it's my signal, it's my signal.
Now I can hear you fine. It was just so weird. So
right, thanks. So what I was saying is, what is the plan of Israel? Do we have an idea as to they just want to take over the country? And Trump at one time was saying that we will just rebuild the whole of Gaza. And what is the strategy of Hamas? And are these starving millions having any voice? I mean, do they know where the hostages are? Could they tell these people? I think these are the questions that normal people would be asking, right? And first of all, welcome to everybody. I'm sorry, like I said, I'm in a very bad shape, but that just resonates with both sides. So I didn't say hello personally to Lucilla or to Shalini. Shalini, very big hello and very warm welcome to you. And you can imagine I'm trying to open all kinds of cybercrime websites in India as well, and it's not opening. So, the chaos that is war. But so our effort is to just talk about maybe humanity through poetry in such times, right? Xanthi was talking about that. I think I've spoken enough. I have given a brief outline. I think the question that I am being haunted by is that these Palestinians are being starved. Do they know where Hamas has their stronghold, and could they share that? Is that what this war is about? What is this war about? I mean, certainly this started when Hamas abducted, everybody knows that, people from a music festival. But these people, are they part of this war, or are they being completely victimized? I think that's the question that I am being haunted with. That could be a bad question, but it still is that question for me. Anyways, I think we will just, Dawn, do you want to just speak for a minute before we go on to read our poetries? And Xanthi, yes, you will be our first poet, and then we will proceed very fast. But do you want to just say something, Dawn? And thank you for hosting this meeting, and thank you for all your tech help, and I thank you for your good wishes. I am really technically needing support. I'm completely hacked, and it's a very bad situation to live in. It really affects your health as well. So thanks again, and welcome everybody. Dawn.
Thank you, Pankhuri. Thank you so much, and thank you everyone for being here. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be part of this, and to see you all. It's a great comfort. I'm going to put a link in the chat to an article that I published in the Times of Israel about the war, and I published it early on, and I think it's still quite accurate. It talks about the what the war is actually about. And the war is about religious fundamentalism. It's you know, it's in the Jewish Bible, all that land was given by God to the Jews. The Jews and people today who are fundamentalists, meaning that what's in the Bible is what's really true and nothing else is but that. Um, that kind of craziness. Those people are just feel justified in ethnically cleansing that whole region, which means moving the Palestinians out. And that's what Israel has been doing that since it was started in 1948. And that's just continuing. And the you know there's a million details which I'm no expert on those details, but there are people who are. And one of the things that the Israeli government did years ago was encourage the domination of Hamas in Gaza, because they knew that Hamas is irrational and could always, I I mean, the Hamas thing it's monstrous what they did. And um,
Yes.
but you know, killing Gaza's 30-1 and then continuing to dislocate people, hundreds of thousands every other day, just, telling them to move. I mean, it's monstrous and totally out of proportion. And the other thing that's in my article, I make an argument that Hamas was never an existential threat to Israel. Never. Even on October 7th, when they mounted their attack and did so much damage, just as the 9/11 attacks on the United States were not an existential threat to the United States, even though it was horrible and it killed so many people. And likewise, the response of the United States to 9/11 and the response of Israel to October 7th, those have done so much more harm than those initiating attacks, and so much more harm to our countries, not just to the enemy, but the response of the United States to 9/11. I mean, if you look at it did so much harm to the United States. And Israel's response has done so much harm to Israel. And there's a real lesson there about, restraint and really trying to understand what is actually going on before a country reacts in war. And we all know that in personal interactions. Before you respond, when somebody snaps out or is mean or something, before you come back at them, I always, at least, I force myself to just stop and think about it. Like
Right.
what's really going to be useful here? And
Fine.
what makes sense? And um these countries are not doing that. They're not they're not doing what we see children do, and anyway, I'll put a link to it after after we get going and I have time. Um, I think that, meeting like this, it's good for us,
It's very
good for
good.
all
Yeah.
of us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope I'm unmuted. Yes. Thank you, Dawn, so much. Thank you. It was very nice to hear that from you. And now I think we'll go to the poetry session. And if anybody wants to share anything, they are welcome to do so. You know, we have a small gathering. I deliberately kept it small and focused on people who would volunteer to lend a voice to, you know, this really inhumane tragedy. And maybe another time we can do it bigger, but right now, so thank you all, and let's start. Xanthi, you are our first poet.
Okay.
You know, very warm welcome, and go ahead. You know, if you want to share something, if you want to just read your poetry, you're welcome to that.
Yes. Hi, everyone. What Dawn said really touched my heart, because it gives me hope that there are more people like Dawn out there who see with a clear eye what's happening, and that this is madness. And I'm honored, Dawn, to have met you, to know you. And Pankhuri, thank you for putting this together again and making us meet even in difficult circumstances, because this is what peace is all about, to meet each other in difficult circumstances. And, you know, the Olympic Games, when they were held in ancient times, all wars would have a ceasefire, and all the athletes would move to the Olympic Games. And this is actually what peace is about, to stop and try to focus on something else, to focus on games, on poetry, on sports, on whatever, and then renegotiate and start from scratch. And I hope we're doing this with our poetry. So I will read today a poem which I wrote for the children, Gaza. I don't know if I'm going to go through the poem because this is emotional.
Come on.
No more counting stars. The lights were bright in Gaza. They were falling from the sky. No one was asking why. The world was home and watching. Nobody standing by. The lights are low in Gaza. The children went to sleep. The fathers counting bodies. Mothers will only weep. The lights gone out in Gaza. Just poets sit and cry. For no child will ever look up to the night sky. We want the children playing out in the streets at night. No more fighting wars. We want them counting stars. The lights gone out in Gaza. The children joined the stars, and writing on the night sky a chant of ancient chants. No more wars. No more wars. No more wars. Thank you.
Thank you. That was very touching. That was very beautifully written, touching, very powerful poem. Thanks, Xanthi. And now I think, you know, I don't exactly remember. We did set up, and we'll quickly come to everybody. We set up an order, but it's out of my reach right now. So I am going to say hello to Anna, who's joining us from Poland, and invite her. And she's looking as somber as probably, you know, the other war can make somebody. I think Poland is a big junction, sort of say, is sort of to say that, you know, I think that is being used as some kind of a corridor to help Ukraine, if I am right, and if I should be saying all of these strategic things. And the other day when I was talking to Xanthi, she told me that there were, you know, bombers flying over her head because there is a NATO base there. So today Donald Trump was talking about peace in Ukraine, Russian war ending, but does that mean, you know, secession of parts of Ukraine to Russia? I don't know. This is the other war. which is probably not as bad. But Anna, welcome again. Say hello. And if you want to share, is everything fine around you? Are bombers flying on your head? What's happening? And please share your poem. Unmute, my dear. Unmute, please.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Thank you. And I have... Oh, I don't know if any words can help. We close our eyes. We are happy here in other parts of the world, and there happens something we can't imagine. So now my poem, yes?
Mm-hmm. But are bombers flying there or no? If you can share that above you where you are, maybe you're a little. Are you close to Ukraine? Do you live close to Ukraine, or do you live a little farther away?
A little further.
Good, lucky you. Good, good. And I wish you peace, and I wish you,
not
you
by
share.
the border.
You share beautiful nature pictures, and I just so love it. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, maybe Gaza. Children of Palestine, hungry in ruins, what once was their home, because a human, feeling like a god, decides your existence worth no more than that of an ant, the snake in the hearts of stone. Closing our eyes, we don't make the suffering end. Indifference of the rest of the globe. When will the change come? The rain is falling again, tears of the words.
Tears of the words.
We are just living. We have one life. We try to be happy here, and the governments decide mainly. And even I know that most of the Israeli people don't want this war, but the governments decide. And when will it end? I hope soon, because it's cool and terrible. Thank you.
Right. Thank you to you. Thank you to you. And such a beautiful poem, such a powerful poem. Tears of words, right? I mean, words are words, and we can only do so much. But as we are overwhelmed with it, we continue to do so. Right. So now we go to India and we welcome Shalini Yadav. And I did not do any introduction for anybody. I think, we are all beautiful poets, fine poets who are here. And I'm not doing any introductions today. So welcome everybody again and thank you. And Shalini. So I will not introduce you. You're joining us for the first time. We will do another one, a nicer, bigger one. And I hope that in happier circumstances, I hope that the two wars are resolved, a little bit, but never mind. Welcome. And if you want to share something, your thoughts. In India too, we have, it seems like a difficult.
The Pak war is going on.
Right. It's not just the Pak war, it's just the retaliation. I think what Dawn said was so important, when there was this Kashmir attack, the attack back, I think that point is so big. If there is a terrorist attack, then targeting everybody from that faith and beating somebody up just because he was dressed in an ethnically Muslim way, this is Hindu fundamentalism, So that happened. And, there are so many, this is exactly what happens, So, we have our own problems. We have several problems, but, still. So, yeah, Shalini was saying something else.
Yes, yeah. I was just adding in what you have said, Dawn has said, and Anna has said. that this is not good for humanity, and we should really means avoid such kind of things, and we should pray that these people they have some peace there. And rest, we all know that there is so much politics involved in these all things, and we can't help, even though we pray a lot that these things should be settled as soon as possible. But some things, as normal civilians, we don't have in our hands to do. But prayers are in our hands, and we are doing that at most. So here, my poem's title is Lines of Existence. Like people over there, when they are suffering there, how they are living in scarcity, and how they are going through so much trouble. So unending scarlet stretches across the land, where children play amidst the remnants of lives lost, exiles drifting like snowflakes in in a frigid embrace. A cold reminder of distant home, as sacks filled to the brim with remnants of existence, the weight of death which is very heavy in the silence. The vast universe swallows their cries, tiny grains of orange sand slide through their fingers, the roar of power drowns out the pleas of the forsaken, while the innocent watch a lonely robin pecking at the remains of family gone, losing fragments of self in the decay of loss. Rulers like Trump and others, they gather in comfort, shaking hands, a facade of peace woven over the horror, promises of resorts, Mediterranean resorts, rising from ashes, met with eyes that remember the wounds, the cherished past, the spirit of resilience burns quietly amidst despair, and from the darkness the dream of a life anew, pleading with the restless sea to echo their anguish. But here, survival is measured in cues, for water to quench their thirst, for flour to create sustenance, for a tin of sardines, a fleeting taste of hope, for an olive that whispers of life, for medicine to stave off the inevitable, the doomsday, for blood that connects the living to the lost, for air that feels like a distant memory with lots of ashes included in it, for the grim task of identifying the fallen, and for the finality of death's embrace, lining up to be laid to rest beneath the weight of rubble. This voice is itching its sorrow into the canvas of suffering, struggling against relentless echoes, and it is yearning for a chance to take flight, to be heard in the world that stifles the jasmine's bloom, battling against the void of absence, and where trees no longer sing of their names, where birds have forgotten the music of life. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful poem, very vividly. You are trying to capture, what's going on. Birds are forgetting the dream of life and the peace of life and the music. Imagine the music that we are left with. So, yeah, thank you. And survival is measured in cues. Wow. Very nice. Thank you. And warm welcome to you, Martin. You just joined us. Thank you for joining. Warm welcome, and we'll come to you. You can share your thoughts and you can share your poetry. And I think now I want to go to Antje, my very dear friend, who has been such a pillar of support to me. I would like to say that I discuss a lot of my problems with her, with Xanthi, so many people, and, I'm standing in a kind of a queue here my immigration war has been taking a toll on me, my health, everything, It always does, right? And we all know it in so many different ways, But thank you, Antje, and it's so good to see you. And I'm going to ask you to share your thoughts. I mean, you're very active. Antje is very active with lots of these activities. I love that whole project she does, you know, the rucksack thing that she did and everything. And she gave us opportunities to send poems and whatnot. And Prasanna, I'll come to you, but stay with us. Stay with us. He's like deep in thoughts, you know. So stay with us and yeah. Antje,
Yeah.
please.
Thank
Yes.
you, Pankhuri. No, I feel really sorry how Europe treats immigrants that we all need. That's the point. I mean, this Gaza genocide is supported by our governments. We give all the weapons, and so we have a big responsibility in this. And it's so strange, no, that the Palestinian land is recognized from 180 countries all over the world. And principally, it's Europe, European countries, America, and Israel who don't accept this, that there is a Palestinian country must exist. Now, so I feel really ashamed for my government, although today our chancellor is criticizing a little bit the Israeli government, but we could do so much because we could stop the war if we just would speak out, our governors, if they would speak out because they have the power to stop Israel, because Israel can do this just with the support of the white European countries and America. So I'm also very angry, I must say. So I read my poem that speaks also about this responsibility, and there's one German sentence that is, wie konnte das passieren? How could this happen? Because we already did a horrible thing, the Holocaust, and afterwards everybody asked, oh, how could this happen? Oh, nobody understood, and so on. But this is exactly the same. How can this happen? What happens day by day? It's not understandable for me.
Right.
No, we cannot forget the newborn babies in a row wrapped in aluminium foil while the emergency engine slowly runs out. No, we cannot forget the doctors and nurses digging a mass grave in the courtyard while snipers shoot at them outside the hospital. No, we cannot forget the child with his mouth open in a silent cry when they cut off his limb without anesthesia. Will he ever again dream of fingers caressing his back in his sleep? Wie konnte das passieren? How could this happen? They have allowed the return of the banality of evil, the return of those who feel no regret in killing while following orders. And we have allowed our leaders to send weapons wrapped in frozen words and shreds of half-truth. How will we erase our sins as history follows us relentlessly, like an angry dog with puzzled and unsettling eyes that keep asking, how could this happen? Wie konnte das passieren? Thank you.
Very powerful, and it was read so beautifully. Thank you. You almost took us there, and thank you for all your kind words. Really, Antje, I'm overwhelmed, you know. So yes, we need that. That's the point of this meeting, you know. Thank you so much, and you inspire me to do more, you know, and to be more strong. So thank you. And now over to Lucilla and Sabrina, and very warm welcome to you. It's been ages. And, you know, at one point we used to talk so much and I missed that. So Sabrina and Lucilla, warm welcome to you. Hi. You are in a beautiful part of Italy, and I was now just reading that Italy is building a bridge connecting Sicily with the rest of the mainland, right? It was just in news, and we get several news stories from Italy here. So it's all interesting. Please, I mean, over to you and share your thoughts. How are you? Lucilla has been globetrotting, you know. And so share lots of how was Baghdad, did they do something? Did they say something for Palestine as well? And so on.
So I assume I start. Yes,
Yeah.
in Baghdad there was there were readings dedicated to Palestine, of course. Yes, it was strong and powerful. I am angry as Antje is. I'm angry because we, the Western countries, could do something, could speak loud, and our governments are going complete. There is no unity, there is no Europe, there is no voice, no single voice. And I feel as a European, because I feel European before feeling Italian or Swiss. I feel European. We do not count. Our voices do not count. And this is what really, really, really upsets me. This feeling of helplessness, that we can't do anything. We can write poems. We can have meetings like this. I already said in another occasion that at least these kind of meetings are meaning, we are saying not in our voice, not in our name. We are remembering, we are giving voices to people who don't have voice at the moment. And we don't feel so much alone, because this is what really hurts me, feeling alone, this feeling alone and helpless. So here is my poem, North of the Cherry Blossom. Recount piles of corpses, relentlessly arching our bristling constructs like cats do with their backs before the plunge. No prolonged pity here. The human dust chases every absence. The mourning of mothers by forgetfulness, one by one, inadvertently. We tear away sense and measure of violet petals. Yet it was so perfect to linger. Sorry, we have a problem. Yet it was so perfect to linger on our hands, to give grace to a step to the sun that makes us eternal with its original essence. Useless paradox of winners and losers. What remains naked and staggering. Thank you.
Very nice. And now the title, it's just so good, North of the Cherry Blossoms, right? Thank you, Lucilla. Very powerful. Thank you so much. And we'll talk more later, I hope. The point is to not feel so alone, with such news surrounded with such, events. So, yeah, that is a very big point. And that is also for everybody else who wants to connect and join and will, I hope, in some ways join with us later. And hello, Sabrina. Thank you for coming. It's so, so good to see you. And please share your thoughts. How are you? And someday I'm going to come. I've been saying that I've been waiting to visit that museum, that church museum. Someday I'm going to come and trouble you big. I once did to Lucilla, and I'm waiting for that day. So, I say this to Xanthi as well.
Yes.
Yes. So please, Sabrina.
Hello, very happy to see you. I think it's very important for us to keep and to maintain attention between all poets on this situation. I agree with Antje, with Lucilla. As Italian and as European, I agree on the point that there is no Europe. There are many Europe, so Europe itself doesn't exist. And it hasn't any real voice in the matter. So it's also true that we feel that our voice has no strength, and it's it's really bad for a person like me who had the bad experience of a previous war, one of the forgotten wars of this planet. I know perfectly well what is a queue of children waiting for water, for food, and it's something really sad that we can't imagine till the moment we really see. And it's something common to all of the world. War is something horrible, and we think of peace just when there is a war, but I think it's time to start to be involved in a peace process, even when there are no war, because it's something which has to do with the mentality of all of us. We only learn alphabet, math, but we all need the alphabet of peace since we are children, all of us, all around the world. So I will read, and there is also true that in the end, the only thing which really counts in a war is the economic reason. So we can say whatever we want, but in the end, it's an old story that we see repeating all the times. My poem is a very short one. I have in my eyes this long queue of children, and childhood is a very vulnerable part of our life normally, not only during the war. I think that this is what I want to express. Children in Gaza. A rusty net shatters the blue into small rhomboidal pieces. A doll swings her legs on the rubble for hours. Children, like field poppies in a glass. Grazie.
Yes. Did we lose you? Sabrina?
No, we are here, but we have some
Yeah.
problems, and we use the phone and the computer in the same time because one will give us the camera and the other the audio. So
we don't have enough internet, so we were having both the computer and the telephone for the audio, the computer for the video, but it comes and goes. So
Right. So that was a beautiful poem. Was that the total poem?
Sorry?
That was a very beautiful poem, but did you read it?
Thank you very much.
Did you read it in its entirety?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thanks, my dear. That was a very beautiful poem. Children, they ask, and this endless blue sky in front of them or above them, what does it mean? Children like poppy flowers. Very beautiful imagery. Thank you. Thank you so much. And now, Prasanna, my brother, thank you for coming, and warm welcome again, and welcome to share your thoughts. Prasanna is just so active in this poetry world, in the world of Zoom, and he invites me every Sunday, and it's my resolution once I get to a more settled place to connect more with with his world as well. But that the world that exists means so much to me. Sometimes I go and just peep in and watch a little bit. So thank you for doing all of that, and if you want to share anything, welcome, and poems as well.
Thank you for having me. And the one which I'm gonna read is something which already has been read 5 years back in this forum, and it deeply resonates to current times. Maybe will there ever be? Will there ever be? I see, I watch, I hear the sounds of burning shingles, the sounds of bursting crackers, the sounds of blazing bombs, the sounds of violent fires. I see, I watch, I hear the sounds of ferocious cries, the sounds of fallen tears, the sounds of vacant lands, the sounds of war-ravaged cities. I see, I watch, I hear the sounds of devastated mourners, the sounds of assaulted victims, the sounds of shattered lives, the sounds of broken souls. I see, I hear, and I watch the splattered blood and the battered bones, the splintered flesh and chilling bones, the scattered limbs and unclined bodies, the scamper of people to save their heads. I see, I watch, I hear, I ponder, and I wonder, will there ever be peace that's guaranteed? Will there ever be harmony that would reign the hearts? Will there ever be? Will there ever be? In all supplication I surrender and I care and carry to see, to watch, to hear, ponder and wonder, ponder and wonder. Thank you for
Thank
having me.
you. Thank you. I see, I watch, I hear. Right. I mean, this poem is just so powerful, and you read it so beautifully. I see, I watch, I hear, and ponder and wonder. And it just leaves us with this question: what all can we do about these two wars? Yes, and about all the invisible wars around us, like Antje also pointed out, And it's not just one-sided. It's always, there's so many complicated things all the time. And I wish that, there's a larger peace in this so-called peaceful world as well. And yeah, but that's me, and I can just go on. But Dawn has more meaningful things to share. Before I go to Dawn, sorry, Martin, you are joining from a very important place here. Where are you? Are you in South Africa? It's not just the place, it's you. You're such a fine poet. So please, over to you, share your thoughts. There's so much going on, between Africa and Europe all the time, not just in terms of migrants, but so much more, So welcome and share your thoughts, share your poem. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I want to appreciate you for initiating this eventful event in order to bring harmony and peace all over the world. It is because I feel human that makes me to be here to share my voice in order to end occupational killing happening in Gaza. My heartfelt sympathy goes to the martyrs that have lost their life. And this injustice is not only happening in Gaza, it is happening also here in Nigeria, where I am.
Yeah,
Where other tribes, where other tribes intend to take over the minority. So it is happening in a different form, but that of Gaza and that of Nigeria, it is all similar because killings of innocent children, killings of mother, killings of parents, fathers, all, they continue to deprive them from living and attaining their potentials. These have to stop. We need to voice our voice in order to stop this unprecedented killing happening globally. And I see this as a yardstick to partake. As I feel human, I want to share my poem titled The Blood of Martyrs. And I read, I linger long at the dead, as ashes of a flame. My eyes feels grief in mystery shock, an uncompensated delight this protest creates. As deaths and pains took many comrades home, I growl at the politics between Palestinians and Nigerians. The shackle of occupation nestled through with a smile. Anarchists maul through the wall and streets. Hunger and pain separate all, and truth is hidden from the conqueror in this conquest. The right to live is as open field. We are winnowed as stressed corn, dry off of tears as bullets and bombs burn. Today, let the buttons of love and peace be pressed. So children and women place on Vendic field a dialogue of a nation stick. Man, we exile. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
Thank you. That was very nice. The blood of, I think you had a name, right? The title
Yes,
of the poem, The Blood of.
Matthias.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to share what that name is? Is it somebody's name or is it?
No, it's not a name. It is a general name for all men and women that left without ensuring without getting to their point of existence untimely. So they are martyrs. They are all generally called metadon.
Martyrs. Okay, okay, the blood of martyrs. Okay, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Very powerful. I thought you were talking about, some particular tribe or a community or something. The blood of martyrs. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I couldn't get that. The signal is always like that,
Yes, it's
But thank you. That was very powerful. And I also request you to share that poem. I am sitting on a lot of translations and I have submitted a manuscript and, my publishers, I do not want to share, right now. What kind of, there's a total silence right now over all of these things, but it will happen. I've submitted a manuscript and I'm sitting on a lot of translations and it will happen. But do share that poem with me, Martin, if you want, in the group for everybody to read. And anybody who wants to share any other poems, I mean, please do. I work very slowly, and the more war I have to deal with, the slower my work gets. So just bear with me. And big thanks again. Dawn knows. I have been sitting on his translations, and a very good friend I met. And I wish I could meet her again. And the deal is I will someday. Dawn introduced us, but that's later, I didn't get the opportunity to rightly invite her for this one, for the next one. Mary Louise, it was so nice to meet her. She was traveling in Portugal and it was wonderful. So thank you, Dawn, for that as well. And it's totally now over to you. And then I read my poem, which which is more like it's less of a poem and more of a war cry. So Dawn, it's over to you in anything you wish to share and your poem, of course.
Thank you. Let me, if it's okay, I'd like to read two things. They're short.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But just because the second one I think speaks to something quite different that someone else mentioned, which is our guilt.
Right.
The first one I wanted to read this. Actually, I wanted to say one other thing about these wars. They're as Mart as one moment. As Martin pointed out, I mean, there are other wars going on besides Ukraine and Gaza, and I was reminded of Nigeria, of course, and Haiti, and the evolving disaster that's happening in Iran around their water shortage, which it's a different kind of war, but
I
it's a
totally don't know. I will have to Google it, I will
yeah.
have to
It's not
Google it.
very much in the news, but Iran is facing a nationwide disaster because of not enough water.
Oh my
Um,
God.
and I mean, and the other thing about Iran, which is interesting, is they're the model for all of us for restraint, for national restraint. Their responses to Israel's provocations and to the United States provocations, which lasted for years, because the United States flanked Iran. The United States occupied Iraq and Afghanistan
Mm-hmm.
for many years, and so on their both borders, here we were with our military might. And they've been very restrained, and that's their history. I also think that the way India and Pakistan handled the latest flare-up, they also were restrained. It didn't cause a conflagration, which it could. I mean, a conflict between two nuclear-armed nations. Anyway, this piece that I wanted to read today is the 80th anniversary of the bombing of Nagasaki. In November 2023, Al-Shifa Hospital came under repeated Israeli attacks as a suspected Hamas command center and hostage transshipment hub. In the ensuing weeks, the 50,000 refugees sheltered there and many patients, including 31 premature babies, were evacuated to save their lives. Ground Zero. On that sunny morning in August 1945, Shima Hospital held only unwhites with strange faces and customs. No hostages or anyone else of value. Why not incinerate the 80,000 in and around it and doom 200,000 more to something slower and crueler? 200 yards to the west, the city's commercial exhibition hall braved the hellfire and still stands. Today, Hiroshima is reborn with 10 times the population it had when America killed it. Shima Hospital was rebuilt where it stood, but the scorched walls of the exhibition hall remain naked, a testament to the resilience of European handiwork, to the defiance of life in the face of wholesale murder, all embodied in the dogged tolerance of stone for insufferable heat. Leaf-clad stone ramparts, phoenix trees at river's fork, deciduous souls. This haiku at the end appeared in Asahi Shimbun as a tribute to Hiroshima. And then I wanted to read this one brief piece. This is the back of my book, and this book is free. It's been downloaded 32,000 times mainly by people who support Donald Trump. Revelations from the Gulf of America. May we always remember, understand, and care enough to do better sooner, even when we don't want to. Nothing is more seductive privilege. Indifference to the innocent suffering is a sickness. Our dead are different from yours. That frightens me. Sociopathy. We cling to platitudes because they're easy and we long to believe. My nation is great. God is good. We who count the dead on a scoreboard. But for wars and wealth, we in America were never great. That last is the opening piece on the cover of the book, but for wars and wealth. I'll post a note I'll post a link to it. You can just download it and take a look at any time. I think many of you probably have already.
I will have to double check, and I will do that, at a time when I can better, store everything, and I'll
Please
get to
share it again. I don't have it.
Yeah.
Share
But
it in the group, please.
I love John's poems, the ones that I read, a few of them I've been reading and reading again to translate. I'm sorry, I interrupted somebody apart from Antje, I think.
No, I just said maybe he could share it again in the chat now, because I don't have the link.
Yeah, in the chat as well as in the group as well. I think he did in the group, if he can just, resend it. And I was just saying that these were such powerful poems. So thank you for sharing, and thank you for your thoughts, and thank you for telling me about Iran. And yes, I think Iran just got bombed, but Iran is it not, Dawn? Again, there is a question for you, and I'm lingering it. But is it or is it not supporting Hamas in any way? Is it the one powerful, I'm sorry to use the word, Muslim country that could do so? Who is support? I mean, how does Hamas exist? I mean, I can understand that there's so much of anger, and that's the only way, that's the kind of response that that will produce. But yeah, I think you get my question, right, Dawn? Do you want to say something about that?
Iran is definitely not faultless. Definitely not. But I know that they've supported Hezbollah, which is in Lebanon, and it's quite possible that financially they've supported Hamas as well. But they, as a nation, I mean, one of the ways that propaganda works with this stuff is, you find some flaw in another nation's makeup and you point to that and then use that to justify the monstrous things that we do. And I think, Italy, Germany, France, Spain, no country is faultless. Just like no person is faultless. Even though remarkably, like whenever somebody dies, you never hear a bad thing said about them. But, you have to really look and understand. I mean, people will use the October 7th attacks as a justification for monstrous behavior. They have already used that as a justification for years, and they've killed surely at least 50,000 people in Gaza and displaced everybody in Gaza multiple times, all the 2 million. And people keep pointing to October 7th, and this is the same kind of thing. Iran is definitely not faultless.
Yeah, I wanted to tell you something about our friends from Hair in the Wind, because 10 days ago, I just visited 2 of them in Germany. And the horrible thing is that the regime in Iran, uses this attack to kill more opponents. And they say these are all spies from Israel. So the situation is really, really horrible for the common people. It's so, I mean, it's so unjust, no? And also this attack at the prison that the Israelis did as a symbolic, they bombed the entrance of the prison. So many prisoners died, and parents of the prisoners that were there to visit them. So it's just horror. And for the Iranian people, it's so depressing because there's no way out. And now also the draft. So it's really, really tough.
Yeah, I'm also reminded of Turkey.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a worldwide thing. We're all in it. It's why it's so wonderful to see you all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I mean, I didn't even, what is the prison that we are talking about, Antje? I don't even know this. When was this
There's one prison, especially for political prisoners, and one of the Israelis bombed was thrown into the entrance part, and it killed. It seems that in the first, also I thought, oh, they opened the prison so the people can escape. But they just killed the wrong persons. The prisoners, the women. There are lots of women prisoners. You remember Hair in the Wind, where then they were all on the streets, and lots of them are still in prison. So terrible. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes, this is the problem. You know, the internal, this is what happens to, I mean, I just want to just sort of expand on this, that this is also what is happening to, you know, immigrants, like, for example, me. In some ways, we get repressed from two sides, or maybe multiple sides, you know. So yeah, and I know it's difficult for me to right now articulately explain it. I'll try another time, but you know, it's so sad. I mean, Israel bombing that prison, and look at this. Oh my God. And sorry, I just want to add that there's a very big, very acclaimed Indian writer, senior writer, and she had, you know, worked with the Irani regime a long time ago. She was also a journalist, and she's very good with Persian. And she was just sharing with me similar sort of thing, like you shared with these two Irani women living there and feeling the sense of repression and prison and whatnot. That's one of these women there. She was singing in public, and she just got caught for that. And she said, "But what is the evidence that I was singing? I wasn't singing." And maybe they let her go or something. I mean, maybe she was just lucky. But that's the kind of thing, you know, that we are talking about. So, but we don't want to, yeah, just criticize that, because like they have even water shortage right now. So, and yeah, Turkey, like Dawn said, and so many other places, you know, people get just brutally cornered and repressed. I mean, these two are underlined nations for, you know, sort of repressing their own militant voices, but it happens in India, it happens everywhere. So, wow, I will quickly read my poem. I feel terrible about, you know, doing this at the end after such beautiful poems, but I hope it's like more like a war cry, more addressed to the Israelis. So it just says, you know, I also titled the event like, you know, peace without occupation. Like they're crying so much peace, and nobody is talking about, you know, existence of Palestine. And the UK Prime Minister recently, I think, came out to say that UK is going to recognize Palestine as a state. I wonder what that means in September, if they are alive, right? So, end occupation, talk peace. Imagine getting abducted from a music festival. Too hard in a world full of music, is it? Is it even possible to picture a missile landing on this musical part of the world? This is all the happy parts of the world, you know, not particularly any one nation or continent. Why is this world so divided? And how can this world stand by to watch an entire nation being starved, to get the starving abducted out? Do the starving children have a voice? Such a bloody game of numbers, war of numbers, and simply watches the world, all nations, flags and forces standing by. That's it. Thank you for bearing with me. And that was in very simple words, but I kind of, you know, it's a rally cry from my heart more than a poem. So thank you again. And before I think a lot of people left. I wonder if anybody else, you know, took a screenshot. I tried to, but I couldn't. I hope Prasanna did, or somebody else.
I have taken Pankhuri. I will share with you.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Shalini. Thank you. Thank you again, Shalini. So good to see you. And I hope we'll talk again soon. And thank you, Dawn. And I think, yes. Thank you, everybody. So good to see you all. And I think we should do this again, right?
Yes, thank you, Pankhuri and
Yeah,
Dawn,
sure.
for putting this together. I mean, it's important.
Thank you.
Also, if we are just a few people, but I think it's important to speak out.
Thanks, my dear. Thank you, Antje. It was very, very good to see you and everybody. Thank you. Thanks. And thank you to everybody who will watch us. Yeah. Thanks.
Lucilla, are you still there? The registration
Yes,
is over, no?
we are still here.